What's up, my people? How you doing? Currently I'm through Andrea and Bob. You know, we did the Akashic Records on myself, and others have done it, and to try to figure out who we are, where we've been, what makes us tick. And that session was fascinating for myself, but I wanted to go farther. I'm also fascinated with Dolores Cannon's work and all the information that comes in with past life regressions in hypnosis. So last week, Tuesday, I did my first hypnosis session. And it's a local woman. Alba Weinman is very good with her videos on past life regressions. And a lot of information and details will come up through all of those. But it was very fascinating. It was my first try. And it was really weird because it was a deeper state of the body than any meditation I've ever done. The body was totally weightless. It felt like my body didn't exist. But I totally didn't understand at first how I was supposed to respond to questions within hypnosis. Basically, you just need to listen to the mind and let it flow where it goes. She was asking ages, you know, and years going back in my life, and I was subconsciously trying to think of, okay, I was this age then, what did I do then? No. It may not have lined up, but it brought back relevance of my current life, whether it was a vacation or an event or a turning point. And it brought back a past life memory that was very relevant. It was scary, but it put everything in perspective of why things have happened, which is really neat. Some things it's not necessary to divulge, because some of it was traumatic. I was shown at my life path change of after high school, and I went in the military for 4 years, and I had that choice at that moment, and I was shown I had three paths I could take. So I could have stayed in the military, and I was shown if I would have stayed, I would have transferred and became an Air Force pilot. The other one, I got the GI Bill, which I didn't use, but if I went home and focused on that, I would have went to college and became a chemist. But I ended up taking the path of least resistance and going back to the family farm, which led me to now, obviously. But I think it had a lot to do with why I chose that path is to figure out my relationship with my father and the past life influences. So, you know, it's nothing that needs to get into, but it was part of my path in this life. So that's that. Next Tuesday I'm doing my second one and hope to go back farther. Go back into other lives, what I've done, where I've been, get more confirmation of my feelings of where I've been and what Bob said in the Akashic Records. So, that being said, the reason why I wanted to do this video today is mainly for Dwight Eisenhower. So I did a little investigations prior to this of the alien crash, the extraterrestrial crashes that are known and tried to be covered up, whatever. But there's been sightings and reports to the late 1800s in our known time. Surprisingly, the first known crash, and all these crashes had beings in them, which most have died, but they're all said to be, and I sense this too, like under 5 foot, gray type, with a weird skin beings. Biological, because they died. Some were mangled and whatnot, or reports and videos. But the first one was in Missouri, I think, in 1941. And as we know, Roswell was, what, 47 or something like that? 49, something like that. But what? So all these crashes were done with hybrid created robotic type grays. They had a mission. But in ways their missions failed, or they were meant to fail. I sensed they were coming here to somehow start the process of delivering a message. And in the Roswell area, New Mexico area, there was 7 crashes. A couple were large, 100-foot, cigar-shaped ones. One ship was said to have 16 extraterrestrial beings in there. And all 7 of these are around the Roswell area, New Mexico. They were coming because of the H-bomb. They were trying to start a awareness and to get a meeting which Eisenhower supposedly had with some extraterrestrial beings about a contract. One, they were upset about our pilots, British pilots, other pilots trying to shoot down these aircrafts, these spaceships. And two, the world was trying to kill themselves with the creation of the atomic bomb, nuclear weapons. Soviets, the United States. So they had the Trinity test, summer, what year was that? 47, I think, maybe. And it was a success. Bomb went off. A few months later, they dropped 2 bombs, a big one, a little one, on Japan. Our extraterrestrial protectors, friends, we're trying to stop this creation of these weapons from destroying ourselves. They were worried about our path. So obviously every government knew about some kind of UFOs, otherworldly beings and whatnot. But the big influx started with Roosevelt at the end, Truman, and into Eisenhower. Roosevelt was busy in dying health. And Truman, I don't get a sense he was all on board with this idea. I feel like our extraterrestrial friends did not trust him. But he started the inception of the CIA. Basically, it started because of extraterrestrials. And then later, I can't remember if it was Truman or Ike that started NASA. I think it was Eisenhower. But a lot of this had to do with Eisenhower's meeting. And the desire for space flight and things like that. But the CIA was created to be like a shadow type government agency and hide things. Another thing I seen that Ike's great-granddaughter or something, Laura Eisenhower, she's kind of spiritual, but on the other side, she's a QAnon weirdo. She's all deep into the UFOs and says she's been abducted. I get a weird sense from her. So, just back off on that one. I see her Twitter account was suspended, so must have been something weird. But the main reason is about Eisenhower. I feel that everything got kicked off because of him. Now I forgot the date. thinking 54. You know, Ike was a military general. He was open-minded. And I feel like our extraterrestrial council, galactic council, trusted him. And I was getting that they had someone within government or a visitor slowly get close to the administration to gain trust, but he was actually an extraterrestrial to set up these meetings. Because you need a point of contact, right? You just can't come down and say, hey, Ike, we need to go talk. So there was this, he looks like he's a blonde, tall, muscular man, but very nice, tender, understanding, knowledgeable. So it feels like this outsider man gained the trust of someone in the administration to help set up this meeting. The first meeting was at Edwards Air Force Base, and the date's escaping me. And then later, Edwards was set up to be a secret program test site of airplanes. Everything's all related. Getting that technology, the reversing technology to make greater aircrafts, but later was moved to, or part of it was moved to the Roswell area. I can't remember what base is down there, but it was one of them. But there's a few in California that did a lot of experimental work, and then down in New Mexico. There's something important about Luke Air Force Base in Phoenix, too. Anyway, I want to get into the channeling of Ike and see where it goes. But yeah, there was 2 other meetings with the Galactic Council or people. It may have been Luke, or it was a base, Los Alamos or something, based in New Mexico. Well, it was 2, but there was 2 others there. So I wonder what it was all about. We also I do sense it had to do a lot with the rise of communism. There was a lot of fear that we'd destroy each other with the war, a war with Russia and communism, the rise of communism in China too, with Meng Zhang or whatever his name is back then, another horrible man, Mei Zhang, whatever. There's a lot of war going on. You know, we had the World War II, and then coming up we had Korean War with the North entering the South, and World War II. So there was a lot of worry that by the creation of the H-bomb that we would kill each other. And I think this was part of that meeting to set up this partnership with the United States to use more diplomacy and kill each other. Another funny thing is, in a sense, Nixon was Ike's vice president. And he was pretty much known to be fascinated with UFO phenomena and spacemen, per se. And Nixon supposedly, I think he did, took Jackie Gleason to go see a spacecraft and aliens that they had down in Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida, which I think is moved now because of that. Maybe they moved it to like Utah or something. Another mountain complex away from that area. But anyway, Dwight Eisenhower, I want to know about your meetings and why. I like Ike. Come and talk to me. Start with your meeting. Start with your meeting in California. I was fascinated. I was worried too, along with other cabinet members. There was like 8 of us that went into this hangar to meet. There's a lot of anxiety, for we were the first known members of a government to meet with an alien extraterrestrial race. And what could this mean? Oddly enough, we weren't able to see all of them. It was like there was a natural white light coming from behind them. So we seen more figures. But they did not speak. There was no vocal. They transmitted our thoughts mostly to me. My vice president wasn't there. The Secretary of State, a couple generals. Like, show me what they look like. These first ones weren't high council type governmental members. They were more like messengers. Subsequent meetings were done by galactic council members. But there was 3. There was 3 I met for the first time. They were more like they were not tall. They did look like your gray being types. They were all about 5'5". One was a little taller, like 5'8". Seemed to be more in control. The outside two didn't speak. They were more like protectors, like security detail. But the one taller looked different. I assumed that he or she, I couldn't tell, was smarter. You just got the sense that this one was an ambassador and the other two were like security. They did not share anything. The one that did all the speaking, or mind transference, talked much about diplomacy and the nuclear weapons program. And the worry of killing ourselves, destroying Earth. This cannot happen. You cannot kill each other off. They asked for Dwight Eisenhower to use diplomacy within his administration against the communism rule and the oppression of other people, and work on his own home in the United States. No agreement was signed then or agreed upon. This was done subtly as a first meet, like a gift of faith. The start of debate. And a little bit of a warning. And that they are here and they come in peace. And to get the word out and to England's minister to stop shooting our aircrafts. That we mean no harm. This meeting was short, maybe a half an hour, but Dwight did not, and his others that came, did not come down to any sudden agreement. Can I take it under advisement? And they said they would come in contact again for a future meeting. for our Dwight was, for all of them, it was so awestruck, they basically could not make any decisions. What would you do if you had a face-to-face with a strange creature? He says it's like having a conversation with a bear. It's standing on his hind legs and then starts mentally talking to you. So we needed to take some time and take it in. Basically, we did not believe them. So they left in peace. Okay. Show me what happened in subsequent meetings. The next meeting, there was like 10 cabinet members. And President Eisenhower. This time, there was a council. They were taller. 6 to 7 feet. Wearing weird headdresses and gowns. But they were more, 2 of them were more human-like. But you could tell they were not from this planet. And the other ones, definitely you could tell that were some type of extraterrestrial being. This meeting had more substance. It was able to absorb what they were trying to accomplish, because I sensed they were putting memories in my mind, showing destruction, showing what might happen. But it was from a good source. The third meeting, about 9 months later, the same council came again. And after many meetings, with my own cabinet members and CAA, was a trade, an agreement, that we could create space travel. With rules. And that we would detour nuclear technology to the point of killing each other. That is not the way. They left in peace with an agreement that has been ongoing. I got the sense that these taller council members were almost angelic because of how smart they were and divine. They also said that the crashed ships were a gift to start learning technology that will help in the future. As long as you don't use that weapon again. I had a fear of, because he was told that there would be money corruption because of military defense budget and military complexes and bribery. He was told to make it legitimate, honest, and to pass on information that would assist the moving forward in an honorable way of technologies and military aircraft. And that noted some would need to be done in secret because the human race would not be ready to receive. And also that too much knowledge of these meetings not to be known. and that they will be watching, and they will honor this contract. But there was a agreement of non-interference. As long as the United States abided by the rules of the agreement. Thank you, Ike. Well, I hope that was interesting. I was hoping for a little more. Basically, I just wanted to see what he's seen and kind of confirm my feelings about this whole process of dates and whatnot leading up to the space program and the crashes of our UFOs found and whatnot. I was thinking the first one in Missouri was scooped up and taken to Wright-Patterson in Ohio. I think that base has a lot of secrets, hidden things. But yeah, when you look at the history and the timing of everything, those, was it 45 to, the first known one was Missouri in 41. And then 45 to 49 was the other 7 in the Roswell area. And 2 of them were cigar-shaped, like 100 feet long. With about 16 crew members each. But most were like robotic, created entities that were expendable. It was just made to give us technology. Here you go. Figure it out. Kind of interesting too with that. Andrea and I got into it about the secret Apollo missions that in the late 70s, was it 17, 18, 19, I think it was, weren't even heard about, but did happen. And that they were told never to come back. And I haven't. But the next one is going in 2024. So the agreement is over. That we can go back to the moon. 2024. Interesting stuff. Cool stuff. Alright. I gotta go. Love and light. Blessings to all. Thank you for joining.